I didn't expect to feel anything tonight, except maybe a little sorry for myself. The kind of night where you curl up in a hotel robe, open a bottle of wine, and let the buzz wash away the bitterness. But Miami had other plans for me. The air was thick with summer heat, even after midnight. The soft roar of the waves outside my balcony was hypnotic, and the moon, full and glowing, lit the beach below like something out of a movie. My bare feet pressed against the cool tile, and the silk robe I wore barely clung to my skin in the breeze. I was alone. But for once, it didn't feel tragic. It felt free. Just 3 days ago, I was packing this same robe, giddy with excitement for a romantic weekend getaway. And then I found the message. One message on his phone was all it took to unravel everything, his promises, our plans, our future. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I booked the flight anyway. If he was going to cheat, I was still going to take the vacation I planned. The knock came as I was pouring my second glass of wine. At first, I thought I imagined it. Who knocks on hotel doors at midnight? I peeked through the curtains, more curious than cautious. And there he was. A man. Tall, broad-shouldered, casual but confident. His shirt was open at the collar, and his sandy hair was slightly messy, like he ran his hands through it all evening. I opened the door slowly, just enough to lean against the frame. "Sorry," he said, flashing a crooked smile that I felt deep in my stomach. "I think I'm lost. Looking for the ice machine. Definitely not this room." I could have pointed him in the right direction and closed the door. But something stopped me. "You're way off," I said, raising my glass slightly. "Want some ice-cold wine instead?" He hesitated, but only for a moment. "Sure. If you're sure it's not weird." "It's already weird," I said with a grin. "Might as well enjoy it." His name was Jake. From Charlotte. He was in real estate, in town for a conference that hadn't started yet. He didn't feel like a real estate guy, though. He felt like someone I'd known in a dream once, familiar and thrilling all at once. We talked on the couch like old friends. Not the awkward small talk you have with strangers in elevators. It was real. Honest. I found myself laughing louder than I had in weeks. My legs were tucked under me, the wine flowing, the heat rising, not just from the Miami night, but from the way he looked at me when I spoke. And when he touched my hand, just brushing mine as we reached for the bottle, I felt my breath catch. He saw it too. The shift. His eyes lingered on mine for a beat longer than they should have. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. "You're amazing," he said suddenly. I don't know what I expected when I knocked, but it wasn't this. I smiled slowly. "You flatter every woman whose room you accidentally knock on." "Only the stunning ones with good wine," he replied, his voice lower, warmer. When he leaned in, I didn't move away. Our kiss was slow at first. Testing. Tasting. The kind of kiss that asked a question and waited for an answer. My fingers found his jaw, rough with a day's growth, and his hand slipped around my waist. I didn't pull away. I pressed in closer. It wasn't about rushing. It was about feeling, every second of it. He didn't undress me. He didn't need to. The heat between us lived in the space between our bodies, in the way his lips moved against mine, in the way our breaths mingled. It was all tension. Delicious, burning tension. We didn't go further than kisses and caresses. But oh, those kisses. They left me dizzy. Breathless. Wanting more but loving the slow, steady burn of anticipation. When we paused, I curled into his chest on the couch, robe still intact but heart wide open. His fingers traced soft shapes on my back, and we talked like we were sharing a secret neither of us could name. "I haven't felt this safe in a long time," I whispered. "Same," he said, his voice muffled by my hair. I fell asleep in his arms. Just like that. No pressure. No expectations. Just warmth and comfort and something I couldn't quite name. The sunrise woke me. Golden light spilled through the glass doors, painting the room in soft warmth. I blinked against it and felt the steady rise and fall of Jake's chest beneath my cheek. He was still sleeping, one arm draped over me like I was exactly where I belonged. It took me a second to remember where I was. And then I smiled. When he finally stirred, blinking up at me, he gave me a slow, sleepy smile that made my toes curl. "Morning," he said. I kissed the corner of his mouth. "Morning." We drank hotel coffee on the balcony, watching the city stretch and yawn beneath us. He asked if I had plans. I told him I'd canceled them all the minute my ex decided to be someone else's problem. Jake didn't pry. He just nodded, like he understood what heartbreak tasted like. "I've got a rental car," he said. "Want to take a drive?" So we did. We drove up the coast with the windows down, singing along to the radio, stopping at random spots to dip our feet in the water or grab street tacos. I felt like a teenager again, carefree, untethered. But deeper. Because I knew what I'd been through. And I knew what I deserved. That night, when we got back to my room, the electricity between us had grown hotter, thicker, impossible to ignore. I didn't ask him to stay. I didn't have to. He kissed me the moment the door shut. His hands were on my waist, then on my face, then in my hair. Mine were tugging at his shirt, aching to feel skin beneath my palms. We never rushed, but we didn't hold back either. It was all lips and fingertips and gasps that slipped through our mouths like prayers. Still, we stayed on the right side of everything. No clothes were shed. But everything else, the passion, the heat, the intimacy, was all there. My body burned for him, and I could feel he was holding himself back out of respect. That restraint made it even hotter. Later, curled in bed again, our legs tangled and his hand stroking my arm, I whispered into the dark, "This feels like more than a moment." "It is," he said. No hesitation. No games. "I want to see where this goes." And I believed him. The next day, we spent hours in each other's presence, not needing words. The way he looked at me, touched my hand at lunch, laughed when I made fun of his beach playlist, I felt like I had known him far longer than 2 days. I wasn't naive. I knew life happened outside Miami. But I also knew a good thing when it looked me in the eye and kissed me like it meant it. Our last night together, he kissed me under the moon again, on that same balcony where it all started. And when we said goodbye the next morning, it wasn't sad. It was open-ended. Like a comma, not a period. Jake didn't promise me forever. But he promised a phone call. A visit. A real chance. And sometimes, a surprising moment, a soft knock at midnight, a glass of wine, a stranger with kind eyes, can change the way you see yourself, your past, and what comes next. That night didn't just give me closure. It gave me possibility. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could trust it.